Hi Dad, happy birthday! So we're saying memories and things we love about you. And what I love about you is you've always taught me like how to have fun, like how to enjoy my life. Like, you know, going to Disneyland, all that fun stuff. It's pretty good. And I think that's so important that we always like, you know, it's important to live life, but it's also important to like enjoy life. And I feel like I've got the understanding of the importance of not only living, but enjoying life, mostly from you. And I'm very thankful for that.
When I was probably about 15 years old, and we were all with Dad in the old van driving downtown, and he stopped and he pulled over all of a sudden really fast, and I was startled at first and I didn't know why, and then I saw him get out of the van and go over to this homeless person who was lying just kind of curled up under a building, and I hadn't even noticed him because, you know, that's what you do, is you're trained not to notice people. But Dad got out, and at the time he didn't have much to live on except for some granola bars and some water bottles. But he got a few of his own water bottles and his granola bars, and he got out and he gave those to the person lying under the shelter of the building with nowhere else to go. And I remember he said, "Drink this, it'll help." And then he got back in the van and he drove us wherever we were going. And that made a really deep impression on me, because, you know, it helped me to realize that I wanted to be like that, that I wanted to recognize the people that everything else in our lives told us to ignore.
I remember ice blocking with you was so fun. I don't know how much, like, I remember falling off the ice blocks a lot, and having a cold, wet backside, but we had to cover it with towels, cover the block with towels so that wouldn't happen. But I just remember particularly like one daddy-daughter date where we went and we got smoothies and we went ice blocking, and it was just so fun. Like, it was just an inexpensive way to have fun, and like we sat around on the grass and we chatted, and I loved it. It was during the tubing business, and I was like sitting in the van and you were off somewhere, and while I was sitting in the van, these college kids like came and they like came to our stuff, and I was hiding in the van so they couldn't see me, and they were like knocking over the barbecue and like beating up the mattress with a hammer. I was just terrified, and I was like, I'm not going out there and telling them to stop, because like I'm a little girl and they're terrible people clearly. And then you came back and you went out and you talked to them, and instead of like yelling at them and making them run away, you just told them, you know, like, you taught them instead. You were like, this like wasn't your mattress, why would you do this? And they were like, I don't know. And you were like, okay, can you help me clean it up? And like they helped you clean it up, and then you offered them to have some barbecue and like roast some Starbursts, and like they ended up as like your friends, and they were like, oh, this is super awesome. And then like you had them like move the old man, and yeah, like you didn't let what they did slide, but instead of making them like they'd already made themselves an enemy, but you like turned them into a friend with like still having respectful boundaries, and I thought it was really good. So yeah, to be kind to people and like who are unkind to us.
I remember when I was about 6 years old and I was kind of terrified to ride my bike. And so you bribed me. You told me that I was terrified of falling. So you told me that every time that I fell, you would give me a piece of licorice. So eventually I started falling on purpose. And it got to the point where you owed me an entire bag of licorice. There was a thing going on for about 5 years where we were arguing whether you paid me back or not. You said that you paid me back with the whole thing with the you know, the Hudson family diet thing. But I claimed that did not count because everybody got that. And so I think that you actually did end up paying me a bag of licorice anyway, so yeah.
What I'd say I most admire about Dad and about who he is his good-heartedness, how much he loves the people around him. I feel Dad is willing to invest anything for his kids and for the people around him, and that he looks to and loves them with all that he has. There have been so many times in my life when we'll be struggling ourselves and just going through a hard time, and Dad will see someone on the way to the airport when we're already rushed and cranky, who needs a ride, or someone who is hungry when we're not the best for money ourselves, but he'll stop and he'll find a way to help them with the little that we do have. And I'd say that is one of the best things that a person can learn to do, is to look outside of themselves and to others. And that thing that I most want to exemplify, because it is one of the most Christ-like and best attributes a person can ever acquire. Another thing that I love about Dad is I have never learned better from anyone than I have from Dad. It's fun to me that Dad can make anything into a teaching moment where I'll retain it and I'm engaged. I've never had a teacher who's as engaging or as fun as Dad as he teaches. But every time he'd teach me something, whether it was chemistry or regarding the principles of biology or history, I'd retain it with Dad because he just put it in such fun perspective. So I'd say he is one of the greatest teachers when it comes to work ethic, as that's been a big thing for me, learning that from Dad and the experiences we've had there. Being, I guess, character building and kindness. And he is also a great teacher in the things, secular things, the things around you, the sciences. And I love that so much about him.
Love you, Dad. Happy birthday.